Morning. Hello everyone, welcome to Egytourina channel. Today I would like to show you a virtual tour inside the Greek-Roman Museum in Alexandria. If you are watching this channel for the first time, my name is Irini, I'm tour guide and I'm making videos about touristic and archaeological sites in Egypt, in Arabic and English. You can choose easily the videos you wanted from the playlist. If you are interested in videos like this, subscribe now to Egytourina channel. Are you ready now to watch the largest museum for Greek-Roman antiquities in the Middle East?
Wow!
Let's start. How can you go to this museum? The museum park, you can see it clearly at Rosetta Street, where you can find the building itself. But to go to the main entrance, you need to turn to the right of the park. The museum located at the most famous and ancient street in Alexandria, Fuad Street, named after the King Fuad, father of King Farouk, the last king of Egypt. In this street, you can see many of other touristic sites, like the National Museum of Alexandria, were located a little bit further from this museum, and also the building of Opera House. The first opera house in all Africa dates back to 1902. We arrived here to the facade of the building where we can see the word Museum, which means museum. And the building from outside it takes the shape like ancient Greek temple. The ticket office, you will see it from outside the main entrance to the right side. The entry fees for non-Egyptians, £300 for adults, £150 for students. The tickets included photography with phone. Ticket office opens from 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. and the museum closed by 5 p.m. When you pass the main entrance, you will take the right side. The first antiquity here, you will find it. It dates back to the 30th dynasty. As the historians divided the ancient Egyptian history into 30 dynasty. The period of King Khedive I dates back to 362 BC. This piece found at Abu Qir, but the granite pyramid top is now preserved in Louvre Museum in Paris. Another two huge stela made of black granite, written in hieroglyphics, the most ancient inscriptions. Due to the discovery of Rosetta Stone, it became a valuable key to deciphering the hieroglyphics. This is here Greek pottery vases. These vases and amphora confirm earlier commercial exchange between Egypt and the Greek world. Alabaster was used for ornaments, especially for females. These vases prove that Alexandria was founded before the coming of Alexander the Great. It was about 16 villages called Rakuda or Rakutis. This is here head statues of Alexander the Great. Alexander was born in Macedonia in 356 BC. He is the son of King Philip II, King of Macedonia, his mother Olympia. In 332, about 40,000 men of army from Greece and Macedonia, led by Alexander, invaded Egypt, defeated the Persian garrison without fighting. Alexander was crowned as a pharaoh of Egypt. Then he decided to visit the temple of Ammon at Siwa, and then he ordered the foundation of a new capital, Alexandria, at the site of Rakuda village. Alexander died in Babylon in 323 BC at the age of 33. After him, Ptolemaic era was founded in Egypt. The museum is divided into two floors. This is here the first one. We have starting from the starting point where we found the statues of Alexander the Great, and little by little we will know about the chronology of Greek and Roman period. The museum is divided into many halls. and I'm gonna show you as much as I can everything and give you quick explanation on the masterpieces. So, after the death of Alexander the Great, Ptolemy I, his military commander, he came after him and he ruled Egypt. His name is Soter. After him, his son and his successor came, Ptolemy II, and then Ptolemy III, and then Ptolemy IV, until the last one in this period was Queen Cleopatra VII. This is the head statues of Queen Cleopatra and Mark Antony. She was the last queen as she was defeated by the Romans. She got married with Mark Antony, who was a supporter of Julius Caesar. Due to the civil war in 31 BC, the Roman Senate declared war on Cleopatra and proclaimed Antony as a traitor. Later, Antony was defeated by Octavian's forces at the Battle of Actium, and Antony and Cleopatra fled to Egypt, where having again been defeated at the Battle of Alexandria. After their defeat, they committed suicide. Those are statues, probably the children of Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Due to the efforts of the famous Egyptian diver Gamal Abdul Nasser, he explored the sunken antiquities at the eastern harbor of Alexandria since 1961. He found many pieces like statues of Isis made of granite. He also found vases and golden coins, and he drew two important maps for the eastern harbor location, which became later an important reference for all the archaeologists who were looking for the other missing parts of the sunken city. Alexandria sank due to the three earthquakes happened in 12th century. You can dive over 800 of antiquities nearby Pharos Island. As Pharos was the Greek word of the lighthouse, which erected by Ptolemy I and completed by his son and his successor Ptolemy II, and it was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. There are about 2 locations of the sunken monuments in Alexandria, Abu Qir area east of Alexandria and the Pharos Island west of Alexandria. And many of Greek tombs are unearthed in Alexandria. These are some collections of statues' heads. When you look at them, you will find the Greek art is very clear, especially in hairstyle and the soft facial features. The Greeks influenced by the ancient Egyptian civilization and art. Like many of the Ptolemaic queens, they imitated themselves like Isis, and many of Ptolemaic kings like to wear the crowns and adorned the forehead with copra, like the pharaohs. When you look at this statue, you will confused. This is for Egyptian or Greek, but actually, this is a royal statue of King Ptolemy XII, and he take the Egyptian style, except the facial features of the statue. This king called himself the god New Dionysius. That was about the first hall. Now let's go to see the daily life of the Greeks. Alexandria founded by Dinocrates, the Greek architect, by the order of Alexander the Great. It was planned like a Greek city, with lavish public buildings in Greek style, including the city's council, gymnasium, stadium, and enormous temples. The royal palaces served as places for public festivals, in which men took part as well as women were keen to attend their fully adornment and elegant dresses. And then the Tanagra statues appeared. Those are made of a specific type of terracotta and painted with distinctive colors. The earliest discovery was at Tanagra city, and then in Alexandria, cemeteries. The Alexandria collections dates back to 4th and 3rd century BC. They represent women, girls, and boys from Alexandria society, capturing the vitality of Greek everyday life in the city. The women clothing and elaborate hairstyle. Sometimes they wear hat or cover their heads with hematone as a sign of being housewives. A lady may hold a fan or musical instruments. Some of them appear care about their pets or carrying writing boards. Boys are portrayed wearing the traditional Macedonian clothes. This is now the end of the 3 halls that we saw, and I focused only on the masterpieces as the museum is very big. Now let's talk about the history of the museum before going to the Roman section. In 1892, the Greco-Roman was established. It's founded by Guiseppe Botti, the Italian archaeologist. Year after year, the collection's number increased and expanded, the whole in size. In year 1904, Botti became the director of Greek-Roman Museum. The museum displayed at this time about 4,000 pieces, and over 30 years later, the antiquities became 23,000 pieces. In 1931 till 1952, the Italian architect Adriani became the manager. In 2005, the museum closed for restoration and reopened after 18 years. Finally, it's open on 11 October 2023. It's enlarged and the halls number about now 27 halls and about 45 showcases. And the numbers of the pieces about 40,000 pieces. That's make this museum the largest one in the Middle East for the Greek-Roman antiquities. Let's start now the Roman period. Colossal head of Octavius, he defeated Mark Antonius, and he granted the title of Augustus, the first Roman emperor. He became the Roman emperor after the assassination of Julius Caesar from 27 BC till 14 AD. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor from 161 to 180 AD. The last of the rulers, later known as the 5th Good Emperors. Head of Antonius Pius, the Roman emperor since 136 to 161 AD. He was very popular to his people, and he did not lead any military expeditions. So this hall was about the most famous Roman emperors. The anatomy art was very popular for the Roman artists, especially for the sculpture art. They liked to show all the details. You can notice here even the hands veins and the face wrinkles. On the floor you will find part of mosaic. On the left you will find the kitchen and design of houses. And here, just imagine how the ancient people were lived in a simple nature houses. We still have many things to see in this museum, and many surprises and unique parts. One of the most famous mosaic decoration here, the Medusa. This is the head of Medusa. Medusa for Greek mythology. It's used for protection, to protect the tombs and mummies. When grave robbers come to steal the mummy, If they look at her eyes, she will turn him to stone. These are magnificent statues. Belongs to the Temple or the Blackhead, the name of district east of Alexandria. This is found by Adriani. The temple dates back to the 2nd century AD. It was dedicated to Isis and other Egyptian deities. They found 2 black granite sphinx and 5 marble sculptures. The first one for Isis, 2 for Osiris Canopus, and 1 for Herpocrat. The Greek inscriptions on the pillar indicated that the temple was a private foundation by a Roman called Isidorus, who offered it to Isis to thank her for having healed his foot after he had fallen from his horse-driving carriage. The temple found in 1936. We are moving now to see the religious life during the Roman period. In 1895, Botti found in the great temple of Serapis a pillar bearing dedicatory inscription to god Serapis for the safety of Emperor Caesar, Trajan, Hadrian, Augustus. A few days later, parts of Apis bull statue were found on the surface at the northeastern corner of the building, leading to underground galleries. The head was separated from the body, as well as the tail and parts of hooves. The bull was the sacred symbol of Osiris, Hapi, the god of Memphis, an Egyptian deity, since pharaonic time. So we have seen in this hall different shapes of Serapis. Serapis as a human body and Serapis as a bull. The temple of crocodile here preceded by 2 lions, and the main temple of crocodile located at Komombo in Aswan, Upper Egypt. This is here crocodile temple. It's dedicated to god Sapik, god of fertility and creator of the world, with Hathor and Khonsu, the main triad. This is here a mummified crocodile in his sanctuary. On the left of this temple, we will find here a room, and this room here it shows us how much this museum is very big. On the right side of the temple model, you will find a hall. This is here a wooden sarcophagus, maybe containing a mummy from the Roman period. This is Ushapti's statues wrapped in the linen of the mummy, and this is the 4 canopic jars for preserving the 4 organs of the deceased. This is during the mummification process. This is here examples for different deities and goddess, different deities like Osiris, Herpocrat, Horus, Cat, Cobra, and Agatha Diamond. Another hall with TV and movie talking about the history of this museum and the most collections that display here. This is theater statues and Dionysius, god of wine in ancient Greek. Statues of Greek poets. Funeral vases for preserving the ashes of the mummy. A coffin decorated with different deities and cobra for protection. And real mummified mummy from the Roman time. A marble sarcophagus decorated with a head of Medusa for protection, and decorated with garlands. Huge statue for the Roman Emperor Diocletian, since 284 till 305 AD. He was known of his persecution to the Christians. This sarcophagus was carved from important marble to very distinguished person, decorated with a Greek legend, carving, and scenes of pressing grapes and Dionysius. This part here for the late Roman period. This is the last hall in the first floor. This hall displays pieces from late Roman period, and beginning of the Christian time. The mummified mummy in front of us, without any decorations, of ancient deities. This is a stela for one of the famous popular saints in Egypt, Saint Mina. He persecuted during the time of the Roman persecution, especially Diocletian. He got martyred at the beginning of the 4th century, and his monastery located west of Alexandria. Another collections here dates back to the Christian time, and this is the statue of the Good Shepherd. We have finished the first floor. Let's go now to the second floor. You can use this stairs, you can use the elevator. In this floor, you will start with the Nile section and economic life, Alexandria Arts, library, lecture hall, VIP hall, and toilet, and coffee shop outside. A mosaic from the Roman time. 2 statues of the Nile. One for the man, he's called Nilus, as the ancient Egyptians personified the Nile in the form of a man, symbolizing the fertility. In Greek-Roman period, they made some modifications. The other statue for his wife, Euthymia, from the Roman period, but her clothing are derived from Isis, the ancient Egyptian deity. This museum is truly very big. You need to stay here a full day to be able to cover everything. Here, some of these antiquities display now for the first time. Keep watching to the end of this video so you can see the colossal statue of Isis Faria. It's one of the masterpieces in this museum, as it's a display for the first time, and it's one of the most important antiquity as it was found beside the ruins of the lighthouse. Some of the small collections, it belongs to their daily lives, still well preserved, still very beautiful colors here. This is at least 1,000 years ago. This is here the plates that used in their daily lives, made of alabaster, glass, and clay. This is here a huge number of amphora. It's made of terracotta, still well preserved, with its even handle, still in good condition. It's used to preserve wine, beer, and other liquid. You can see many of amphora in other museums all over Egypt, like Egyptian Museum, at Tahrir Square, like National Museum of Alexandria, and other many museums. But this is here the best and the biggest number of them. All of these amphora dates back to the Roman era. These are here a big collection of coins from different period and made of different materials, most of them made of gold and silver. Other jewelry collections like earrings, bracelet, rings, These are childhood statues. Come, come, you can see the statue of Isis Faria from here. Outside, when you've finished, you will find this cafe. And on the other side, the toilet. We are going down now to see this colossal statue. This is a colossal statue of Isis Faria. It's found over the ruins of the lighthouse at the location of Khedive Citadel. So in this video we know about the Alexandria history, and we know about the foundation of the city. We know how the Greek and Roman came to Egypt, and we saw many of the masterpieces and famous Roman emperor statues. We know about the defeat of Queen Cleopatra with Mark Antony. We know also about the history of this museum. This is the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, press like. If you would like to watch more videos, subscribe to Egytourina channel. Follow Egytourina on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks for watching.